I tried to implement like most of the fundamentals that you've been teaching. So,
Hmm.
I got a pretty substantial lead. I just want to, see if like there's pretty much the small stuff.
Actually,
I feel like, I'm pretty bad at describing like what exactly I need, but
let me just change this to like 10 minutes right now instead. I mean, I just missed his taxes. I think taxes in the thing above us, so he'll probably join after. Okay. Yeah. So what fundamentals would you say that you've been working on the most? Because I work with a lot of people, so give me like
uh
a little reminder.
let's see. I would say more objective prio and then
Hmm. Okay.
jungle tracking. I've been trying to keep a track of, but I feel like jungle tracking I kind of suffer a little bit because I feel like there's I don't know, I'm not a very invading type of person.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm kind of like a passive jungler.
I'm surprised that with the fact that you play Briar and you say that because I feel like usually Briar's like every champ has a pro and con. I think like or like strengths weaknesses, right? And I think Briar's like she's usually pretty strong early. Like usually she could basically 1v1 like most junglers of the game besides maybe like the occasional Trundle or like Volibear, right? Like obviously if you
Yeah.
beat Kayn level 3, it's not even like a question. You should always beat him, right? So I feel like usually anytime you're picking any champion and you have strength, then you want to use that strength via invades or not even invades, just via forcing fights. Because anytime you're stronger than your opponent, you should be forcing, and invading is just one like method of forcing, right? Again, there's plenty of games you don't have to invade. It's more like if usually the priority list is objectives, then ganks, and it's one of those rare moments where like there's no objective up to fight for, and there's no easy gank. That's when we'll just do. That's when we'll invade, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think one thing here is I don't really see the obviously you got the crab. I don't really see the point of smiting red buff. I usually always want to have smite up for crab if possible, right? Just because here I think you got lucky. He ended up
I didn't
missmiting.
know. I didn't. He smited the crap out of it.
Yeah, no, you got it though.
Oh wait, what the heck?
That's what I'm saying. You got
Okay.
lucky. So I'm saying normally I think that I would always usually prefer to save my smite for the crab instead of smiting red buff. Just something to keep in mind. Like there you got lucky. But that doesn't normally happen. I'd say. uh,
Yeah, I feel I've just been doing that because I watched like Logan Jungle,
uh-huh.
the Briar guy,
Does he always smite
and
red?
that's what he's been doing recently. That's the only reason like why I started doing that
Does
mostly.
he always show up to crab with no smite?
Sometimes or sometimes like it's just recently like in the
May-
past few times that he's been doing
Yeah,
that.
I wonder if he smites red and then he just doesn't because you smite your blue and then you smite red. I wonder if in those games he just doesn't smite his blue either. Because I know some people like what I've been doing a lot is I never smite blue just in case someone wants to do like a Raptors to Gromp cheese. So maybe he didn't smite it, like the game you saw. I don't know, but maybe the game you saw he didn't smite blue and he ended up just keeping it and then he ended up just smiting red because he's like okay at this point I have to use it type moment, you know. But who knows? Anyways, I think right now you're in a really like happy spot. You got double crab, you got the full clear twice in uninterrupted. Now we're going to our bot camps. Just on the because working on the tracking thing. I think you're both. You should just know that you're both like full clearing down, because you both showed up
Yeah,
to crab. So that means Gromp and this, wolves and raptors, raptors and wolves, and then Krugs and Gromp. You guys are pretty synced with that, I'd say. Um, so here, if you're on Raptors, he's probably on his wolf camp normally, but here because you based, he's probably It's important now to press tab if you can check his like CS. Um,
yeah,
so here he has 40, you have 44, so that means he full cleared. You know this if because right now you have 44 and he has 40, right? So he's up by 4, but you're up 8 because you got double crab, right? So normally when you do your Krugs, you'll be at 48 and he'll be at and he because right now he's at 40, right? So that means if he's at 40 and you're 48, that means you guys are fully even because this 8 is from the two crabs. But right now you're at 44. That means he has done all 4 of these camps. His Grump is dead. His Wolf is dead. All of these camps are dead. Okay. So he has nothing to do. He has all 4. You have Krugs up. He has Grump up. Just for like a very just for how the tracking would work because that's one of the things you want to work on. It's important to know because like even pressing tab right now, I'm not expecting you to check that while you're fighting him, but even pressing tab right now and checking is important. And you might be like, why? Um, it's important to know when the enemy has his camps up or down because let's say right now you know his camp is up, that means you know where he's going, right? But now that I know that all his camps are down, all 6 camps, he could do anything. He can just base right now and run to top, base right now, run to bot. He could just not base and just stay on the map and just uh loop around and just wait and just sit in this bush and wait for a crab to spawn. He could do anything he wants because his next camp that spawns is red buff in 30 seconds, same as yours. So he basically has nothing to do until red, right? So just it's like, and here, for example, here you're walking in his jungle and warding, or maybe looking to invade, right? But if by tracking, you would know, or you should know, that all these camps are down, and not only that, not only do you know that the camps are down, you should know right when he killed his camps, because here again, you know you both folklore down. So if he's coming from bot side jungle, and again we know he's clearing down, that means the last camp in the clear is Gromp. That means you know he did Gromp, and after Gromp he just walked in like this, right? So now even though we didn't see the Gromp, you actually should know Gromp died around 15 seconds ago, Wolves died around 30 seconds ago, Raptors around 45 seconds ago, and Krug's probably died around a full minute ago. And because right when you guys met him, right when you met him here at the Scuttle, he ended up right here after the Scuttle Crab right here. He just based and does Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Grump like this, right? So again, we're not in. Tracking doesn't always equate to invading. So you're like, oh, when you say like, oh, I'm working on tracking, but I'm just not a very like aggressive jungler. I don't like to invade. That's fine. It's still important to track to know what the enemy is like, where he is or where he's going, because you know a lot. You could learn a lot about like what they might. You could predict what they're gonna do if you know what camps are up, what camps are down, right? Um, so in this case, like I think you kind of waste time going and warding, because if you knew this entire time these camps are down and you knew when these camps are down, then you could go do right now and do Krugs. Because right now you're in a not pickle, but you have to choose blues in 30 seconds, scuttles in 30 seconds. Both these camps spawn at the exact same time. So if you do scuttle, he could technically take your blue, and then if you do blue, he could technically do scuttle on spawn. So it's kind of important that you're on one of these as it spawns. Because technically, if you do scuttle the second it spawns, then you could technically still like cross through and potentially make it for the blue, or vice versa. But let's say you're late to one of these camps, then there's no chance you get both of them. But if you start the camp the second it spawns, you still have a chance to maybe get both. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then when you do this, now it's impossible from this point on to do your Krugs and be on Scuttle on time, or now it's impossible to do Krugs and be on Blue on time. And now we're just basically skipping a camp for no reason. He did his full clear. He did Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Grump, and we just did three camps. We did Grump, Wolves, Raptors, which isn't like a big deal, but like why would you choose to be down at camp, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so and then here, just like I said, boom, the Scuttle spawned, and he's gonna go and start your blue, you know?
Huh.
Holy shit. Oh, Senna should be able to heal you here. I think you'll be fine. Oh, nice. This is good. Oh, call you.
Had a really nice escape here.
Yeah, it does look good. Nice. And here you opening to. Oh, this guy is bad. I don't even think opening to your top side's correct here. I think you should just assume your top side's down because we saw him in your top side, and then it's kind of like you could use. Actually,
Yeah,
this
my
is.
whole idea was I thought that he was still gonna be there doing the blue.
And you
So
just
that's
want to fight
kind
him.
of like my yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's really bad, but you think this is fine for you, obviously. So this is chill. Flash the wall. Oh, you ulted. You can actually not die to this guy, really? Oh wow.
It's very close. I should have flashed back and like behind the wall and had the Scion tank that.
Yeah, I honestly just think you just don't have to. Like, I think at this point you're happy. Like, think about it this way: like, you got all three. You got the dragon. You got all three grubs. You got a kill. You got four camps up. In my head, like, if you don't have to kill him, if you just don't die, that's your dream scenario. Your dream scenario isn't killing this guy. Your dream scenario is just living. Flash over this wall, or once you see him walk away because he's a pussy, now just chill. Just chill here. You could literally recall in the pit, or you could just chill here, wait for him to walk away, and then you'll just walk out, walk to wolves. You know. I think the dream
Yeah.
scenario here is that you just live. Like you don't need to kill him or anything. I don't even want you like. Let's say you just said like, oh, I can flash for the wall. I'll play him and live. I would never even want to use flash to kill him because like I'd rather save flash for like the next dragon fight or for like a more important like skirmish with 3 or 4 members. Like this killing this guy is like so irrelevant in my head. It's like such a non-priority. Um, he ended up dying anyways. Thank God, Sion finished him off. But that's kind of like almost like a mindset change. Is it's
Yeah.
really not important to kill him there because here, like, if for your death, if this Kane's good, he spawns in 3, 2, 1. If this Kane's good, spawns, run straight to your Raptors, right? And then live and then now because you're dead, by the time you come here, like you just you lose Raptors and Scuttle for zero reason. You shouldn't lose any camps. But when you're dead, like now he has an opportunity to kill him. If you didn't die, then he never gets this opportunity.
Yeah.
And now that you have Bork, I know you said you're not like a super aggressive jungler, but it's one of those things when you have like a, it's fine not to invade when you have like a somewhat small lead because you don't, it's like still not like guaranteed fights. But when you have like a major lead, like you mollywop them, it's really important you use that lead. So here I'm not even saying invade. It's one of those things where I don't want to give this guy anything. I don't want to give him crabs. I don't want to give him like objectives. Obviously, I don't want to let him gank my teammates because if he ever goes for like a gank on your bot lane and you happen to be like sitting behind your bot lane, like shadowing them, they're gonna get
Yeah.
wiped. Agreed?
Uh-huh.
So now your point now like when you're ahead, it's not that your job's to push your lead per se. Your job's just to make sure the enemy team gets nothing, right? Pushing your lead is like a luxury. The more importance is to make sure that the enemy team doesn't get a lead. Does that make sense? Like I like to
Yeah.
have a point system in my head. Where, like right now, let's say you're plus 20 and Kane's just 0. I'd rather play this game where at this point with your natural lead, let's say okay, let's do this like this is gonna sound like some crazy math shit, but actually I'll do red and red as well because it's fucking blue in the river. So let's say the natural progression in the game is every second you get +1 points, right? You could call it
Yeah.
gold, whatever you want to call it. But every time you have an extra point, you get plus 0.1 points. So let's say if you're plus 20 points, you're actually getting plus 3 points, right?
Mhm.
So in this game, when you're plus 20, just from strength, 4 kills, the dragon, the grubs, the up camps, right? And let's say the Kane right now is 1 point, and he's getting 1 point per second, and you're getting obviously 3 points per second because you're ahead. That's just natural. When you have a lead, you kill camps. That means you have higher level. That means you have better items. That means you kill camps faster. And the faster you kill camps, the faster you're at plays. And the faster you're at plays, the more shit you're doing on the map, right? And so like it's normal that when you're simply up gold, up XP, up items, you're simply gonna do everything on the map faster and better, right? That's why you're getting a higher point system if you have a lead. So a perfect world when you have a lead isn't to fight, 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 fight. It's just to make sure that this guy stays at 1. You could stay at 20 the rest of the game. You don't have to go to 30. You don't have to go to 40. You don't have to go to 100. You don't have to be 20 and 0, 6 items. You could just, as long as this guy keeps eating shit and never gets a future dragon, never gets a future herald, never double kills your bot lane, that is the dream scenario for someone when they're ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that way I stay at 20 and he'll basically forever stay
Yeah,
at
yeah.
one.
You're just bleeding them out basically. You're slowly bleeding them out. Um, So I think if you're not a big invade player, that's fine. I'd say it's more important then to be like the global babysitter when you have a big lead, because
Yeah.
and just make sure okay, my bot lane's never gonna die. My mid's fighting, perfect. I'm gonna come shadow my mid laner because if my mid's fighting, my biggest concern is that while he's fighting, Kane shows up and kills him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now, what does that mean right now? That mean what's my next priority? I see dragon spawning in a minute. Okay, I'm forming my plan around that. I'm gonna base right now. I'm gonna do Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, and I'm gonna show up to the dragon as it spawns. And that's gonna guarantee there's no chance that Kane like takes my gets the dragon, because I'll be here if he shows up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we see bot fighting, so we come help him out. We get 2 kills, perfect, spamming dragon, beautiful, awesome. Throw an old top lane happens. I don't think there's anything to base for. I think like look at what you bought. You just bought a bunch of bullshit. You bought a health crystal and a glowing moat, right? It's such like
Yeah.
non-important items. If I was you, I would just focus up Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, and then Blue, then Scuttle. Or if you want, you could check this guy's bot camps. Their bot lane just died. You see him top side. So either check his bot camps or just do your bot camps and path up normally into the Herald. I don't think that's worth the base for a single health potion. I think you know what I mean. I mean, a single
Yeah.
health crystal. It's not. It's just not enough value. And again,
100%.
you are skipping. You're just like I think this game I've shown. You skipped your like Wolves twice this game. I think you just skipped your Krugs and Raptor by opening basing going to top side. You're skipping your Raptors and Krugs again, right? I think once this game, level 4 on the literally second clear of the game, you skipped your Krugs as well. Remember when you're
Yeah.
blue spawning 30, Scarlet spawning 30. So I think you are skipping. I think I always like. I think jungler. I think coaches say full clear a little too much. I think it's almost robotic. It's like a boring way to play, and we are humans. Even though we want to win, we still want to have fun. So I'm not like I'm not the biggest guy at saying, oh yeah, full clear every game, full clear every game. I will say though that like I say it's I always say it's acceptable to skip camps if it's for a very obvious active reason, like dragon spawning in a minute. I want to skip camps to get control of the dragon, or bot lane's fighting. Skip your camps to get the bot lane time. I'm fine with all those reasons. In this case, though, I don't think there's a single time this game I've seen you get something for these camps you've skipped. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would say be a little bit more wary on that decision making wise. This is good though. Herald's spawning, so we're playing top side. We run this guy down. Nice, get a kill. I think it's instantly start Herald. I guess you see this guy, so you start fighting him a little bit. That's fine. Make sure as long as we don't die and don't burn anything important. Yeah, we get his ult. Sick. I think here you could have pushed him against the wall. No, I'm not the biggest Briar expert,
Oh
so
no, I 100% could have. Yeah.
yeah. I thought I'm not the biggest Briar expert, but I feel like this is a free push, and I think your push does a
Yeah,
lot of
I can
damage,
do it
right?
from the bush right there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would kill him. I guess he still died, but uh, I would insta go Grubs because here, look, I mean Herald because like 3 dead, only person alive is Riven. And I feel like you could lifesteal off this. You could do Raptors maybe be full HP, and then you'll just pull Herald full HP. You have Bork and you also Briar, so I feel like um with their jungle dead, there's kind of no reason not to do the Herald. And then if you're saying that, oh, even then you feel like you're too unconfident doing it, then don't go for the Swain kill. Just kill it. Even right now, you could just kill Herald right now. Like you already did your job by chunking him. Now Swain's half HP, no ult. Now there's no way he fucks with you on the Herald. He's too low, right? So if I had an option to get a 300 gold support kill or to just guarantee the objective, you know which one I'm choosing, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a bit. Even again, I think you could do kill Swain and then still go Herald. But if you think that it's too scary and you have to choose Herald or Swain kill, then I would say please choose the Herald. Uh,
Mhm. And the only reason I ran here was to save my
yeah, this makes sense.
ADC.
My only concern is when you do this, and then let's say Kane solos the Grubs Herald right now. I'm like, it's also a bounty queue line, so it's like that's just what I said earlier. I really want your priority to be don't let the enemy jungle get an inch when you're this fed on him, and by not doing the Herald then you technically gave him an opportunity to do it in the future. You know, what I mean? In case you have to go balling for some reason, save a tower, save an AD carry. Now with Herald being up, that's his way back in the game potentially.
Yeah.
Let me watch this.
And I normally don't ever take Bork. It's only because if I ever have another frontline,
hmm
I normally always like if it's just me frontline, I'll just take Titanic. But
hmm
I love playing Bork. I feel
No,
like
I,
I
I
get to
like.
play
I'm
however.
a Bork enjoyer. I think I don't know what the Briar mains are saying on this one. I like Bork as an item personally. I think Bork's good.
They just go Titanic for that frontline aspect. I just feel like Bork kind of just allows me to play however I
Yeah,
want.
I think if you have Scion, I think makes plenty of sense to be a little squishy. Also, another important thing to count is that you're also snowballing early. Like if you're like 0-0, this game Titanic's probably still better, right? Because I think you're so accelerated. Like you had a god base. You base on like pickaxe, longsword, dagger. So I think if that's the case, then I think you're allowed to be more greedy. I think it
Yeah,
makes fully sense.
this is a terrible fight for me. I shouldn't have won.
I think it's similar to what I said before. Like you have to understand, like right now, you killed Swain, perfect. Star Articon, it's 45, right?
Yeah,
It's simply 45. You don't have to keep chasing. Even here after this, even boom, you get this guy. Okay, like I guess now you kind of have to keep fighting. Yeah, I think just be happy with like the chunk. Even now, before you even kill this guy's just like even right now, I would happily start Otacon if I was you, because it's 5-5, but it's 5-5 in their sports quarter HP. Where I'm full, Zed's full, Velkot's full, this guy's full. Again, we're up like a lot of gold. I feel like if you just you guys have full control, they have zero vision in this entire area. All I care about is the objectives. So I get a kill or I get a chunk, boom, I'm starting the objective. Because when you die, you risk them taking it, and that's just their way back in the game. And that's the only thing we are trying to avoid is giving them an like don't give an inch is like it's like a saying.
yeah,
It applies here too. And here I think you're just steamrolling them, and now you're spamming the objectives. Nice, good. Dragon, the Nautica. I think now the game's over. Now same thing
yeah. It's pretty
before.
much just a few kills. Yeah.
Now we play for Baron. Keep shadowing the Baron. Yeah, to kill 3 and then kill Riven, then spam Pink Baron, and then you and Vel'Koz could just 2-man it. Yeah, perfect. And game's over. No, I thought it was so fun. I think you didn't really like make any mistakes. I don't think I really said anything. I think it's good in solo queue to just you don't have to be super proactive. A lot of times players will just lose to themselves. So as long as you're keeping your farm up and not forcing bad plays, you can literally just wait for the enemies to force bad plays and then just punish their plays, you know? Because this game, it's not like this game you force any good plays. It's more like you were just farming, chilling, farming, chilling. Oh, bot lane's fighting to the death. Okay, I'm gonna go and clean them up. Oh, Riven's fighting while I'm nearby. Okay, I'll go kill Riven, you know? And that's like a
Yeah.
very like it's like boring, but it's when if your goal is just to win, it's a very good win strategy. You know, I will say that if I had to say like the one thing I would say if I had to give you any one piece of feedback this game, or I'll give you two of them. A would be don't skip camp as much. For like non-existent plays, like if you're skipping camp to do a gank, sure, but there's a couple times in the game where you skip just because you felt like skipping, which isn't okay. And two would be like the objective thing, like the or like being okay with small wins. Like you don't always have to kill a Swain. Chunking him means heralds. You get herald. Or the other time before, okay, chunking Swain. Okay, that means free Otacon. So being okay with like just chunks or just one kills. You don't always have to two kills, 3 kills before you to start a herald or to start an Otacon. You know. Besides those two things, I really didn't have much advice. It was a solid game. Did you have any questions or anything?
Do you think so? Do you like obviously I know you're not like the biggest Briar player, but like, do
Hmm.
you think in low elo it's just better to go Bork automatically, or do you think Hydra is kind of because obviously in high elo, I feel like Hydra is just better than Bork, but
Yeah, I think again I let's say it applies to the snowballing thing again. I think if you're start a game like this, Scion or no Scion, I don't really care about the tank thing as much. I think it depends on how ahead you are. I think if you get a kill early or 2 kills early, you get a double crab, like you get any four, or you think the enemy team like doesn't counter you, like you think they have like very low amount of CC because Briar's countered by CC, right? So I think if
yeah,
the enemy team has low amount of CC and you get a kill early, I just think it should be based off your strength. If you think you're strong early or you're confident you can snowball because the enemy champs don't counter you, or you have champs on your team that can enable you, like you have a Zillion, or you have like a Karma, or you have a Lulu, or you have like a Galio, then I think it's fine. So I think either A, you get ahead early, B, you have champs on your team that enable you, or C, you're good into the enemy champions. I think if any of those three things apply, then sure, you could go that higher damage build. But I think if you're, even or behind early, don't have any front line, no CC, the enemy team is playing really cancer chance for Briar, like I don't know, Poppy and Nivea, then I think just stick with the Titanic. That would be
okay,
my take. Any other
got it.
questions?
No,